Hey everyone, it's Synchron here, and today I wanted to bring you all a couple of Predaplant combos with the first two being with Darkness Diablos, because I did do a Predaplant Darkness Diablos deck profile recently, so I figured why not do a couple of combos for to showcase what the deck can do, or at least its potential of what it can do. If you all actually find more ways of using the deck, by all means, comment it down below, and hopefully I see it. So, all that said, let's get into it. For this first combo, you're going to need one Layer of Darkness, one Lone Fire Blossom, one Foolish Barrel, and one random monster in your hand when we send it to the grave to activate Scorpio's effect. And how we get Scorpio to our side of the field is with Lone Fire Blossom, and Layer of Darkness being allowing Lone Fire Blossom to be a dark attribute monster. When tributed, will allow us to get our Darkness Diablos from our grave to our side of the field by after we send it to the grave with Foolish Burial. For this first combo, you're going to activate one Layer of Darkness in your hand, the Foolish Burial as well as your hand, to send Darkness Diablos from your deck to your grave. Then we are going to use our one number summon of the turn to get out our Lone Fire Blossom. Layer of Darkness' effect, Lone Fire Blossom is now a dark attribute monster. Lone Fire Blossom's effect, once per turn, you can tribute a face-up plant monster on the field, special summon a plant from your deck to your side of the field. So we are going to tribute it, as well as activate Darkness Diablos' effect, which once per turn, if it's in your hand or grave, you and a dark monster you control is tributed, special summon this card from your hand or grave. Lone Fire Blossom, and then we're also going to get our Scorpio. Scorpio's effect, you can send one monster from your hand to the grave, special summon a Predaplant monster from your deck to your side of the field. And the basic one we're going to go for is Cobra itself. There are other options, but Cobra I just feel as if is the better option for search effects as well. And Cobra's effect is when it's special summoned by the effect of a Predaplant monster, you can search your deck for a fusion spell card or a polymerization spell card. However, you only gain that effect once per duel, so make the search count. But for this combo, we are going to go for polymerization as well as activate it in our hand. I'm trying to grab these, there we go. And the choices are wide variety. You can go for Starving Venom, Chimera Reflegia, or if you want, you could even go for Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon. However, that would cost your Darkness Diablos to go back into the grave, and you'll just have Greedy Venom on the field. So for this first turn combo, I guess you could call it, we are going to go for our Chimera Reflegia. And what Chimera Reflegia does is once per turn, you can target a monster on the field with a level less than or equal to this card, and it is a level 7, and you can banish it. And when this card happens, when a attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's face-up monster, you can activate this effect. Allow Chimera to gain 1,000. Allow your opponent's monster, battling Chimera, to lose 1,000. And its final effect is once per turn during the next standby phase. After this card was sent to the grave, you can add a polymerization spell card or a fusion spell card from your deck to your hand. So in a sense, it's the fusion version of Predaplant Cobra. But yeah, first turn board, you have a Layer of Darkness on the field, you have a Diablos on the field, and you have a Chimera on the field. But during the end phase of once per turn, you due to Layer of Darkness' effect, you have to give your opponent a Layer of Darkness token on this side of the field, which they can use for links, unfortunately, but let's hope they don't. But yeah, this is a first turn board for the Darkness Diablos deck. Let's go into the second combo. So combo number 2 is actually almost similar to combo number 1, except instead of using Scorpio to search polymerization, we are going to use it to search Instant Fusion to go into our Sea Monster of Theseus, because it is a tuner and is at a level 5, which we will use to tune with the Scorpio or Cobra to go for Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. So let's get into it. So like we did in the first combo, we are going to activate our Layer of Darkness, then activate our Foolish Burial to send our Darkness Diablos to our grave. Then use our one normal summon at the turn to get Lone Fire Blossom on the field. Fire Blossom's effect. Once returned, you contribute a plant monster on the field. Special summon a plant monster from your deck to your side of the field. And since it's a dark monster, it would also activate Diablos' effect while it's in the grave, thus getting it to our side of the field. We are going to then special summon Scorpio due to Fire Blossom's effect. Scorpio's effect, when special summon or normal summon, send a monster from your hand to the grave. Special summon a Predaplant monster from your deck to your hand, no, deck to your side of the field. And Cobra's effect, search a polymerization or fusion spell card, which this time we're going for instant fusion. We're going to then activate our instant fusion to get out Sea Monster Theseus. Why? Like I said, he's a level 5, as well as a tuner, and you could either use Scorpio or Cobra's to synchro summon, but since Cobra already used all of its uses, we're going to use Cobra for the synchro summon of a level 8, and we are going to finish off our first turn board with Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon is mainly used for the monster negations, and if anything, I'll just let you read it here. Once per turn, when another monster effect is activated, quick effect, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that monster, and if you do that, this card gains attack equal to the destroyed monster's original attack until the end of this turn. And if this card battles an opponent's monster that is level 5 or higher, during damage calculation, this card gains attack equal to the current attack of the opponent's monster it is battling during damage calculation only. So yeah, that's combo number 2 with first turn board of Crystal Wing. Unfortunately, Predaplant Cobra kind of stays, but we also do have our Diablos on the field. I forgot to mention that during the end phase, Lair of Darkness activates, and since we did tribute one Lone Fire Blossom, we do have to give our opponent one Lair of Darkness token on their side of the field. For this next combo, it's actually a lot more of a full hand combo, you could say. Since you'll need Over Scorpio, you'll need a monster discard for Over Scorpio's effect, as well as a random card in your hand to send to the grave to activate Recycling Plant's effect to search your polymerization of the deck. But yeah, let's get into it. So first off, we're going to activate our Fusion Recycling Plant, send a discarded card, add polymerization, normal summon our Scorpio, send a monster from our hand to the grave, bring out our Cobra's effect due to being special summoned by the effect of a Predaplant monster. We're going to add from our deck to our hand an Ultra Polymerization, which we are then going to use for on these two. For the future summon of Chimera, we are then going to use Ultra Polymerization's Graveyard effect by targeting a fusion monster that was fusion summoned with this card's effect. Then special summon all fusion materials used for that fusion summon from the grave, but change their attack to 0 and have their effects negated. We're going to then use either or, but we're going to use either or for the link summon of Wee Witch's Apprentice. Now you're probably wondering why we just wasted Chimera, and why we put Chimera into the grave for the link summon of Wee Witch's Apprentice. Well, Wee Witch's Apprentice is actually pretty useful. For one, it allows us to gain 500. It allows us to gain all dark monsters to gain 500 attack, and if it happens to be destroyed by battle or card effect, we can target a dark monster in our grave, say Scorpio, and add it back to our hand. We are then going to activate our Predapruning in our hand to target Predaplant Chimera, bringing it like over here or something, just right there, the far left. Now, if you remember correctly, we still have a polymerization in our hand. What are we going to do with that? Well, we have a Predaplant monster, we have a Dark Attribute monster, so activate polymerization, use these two as a fusion material, and go for your second Chimera. Oh, sorry about that, I'm just going to put it down there a little bit. And yeah, basically, turn board, your opponent has to deal with two Predaplant Chimeras. If they cannot kaiju them, they're forced to attack into them, which is going to be problematic since Chimera allows itself to gain 1,000 as well as force your opponent's monster to lose 1,000. And if anything, if it during the next standby phase, after it was sent to the grave, you are allowed to search your deck for a polymerization or fusion spell card. So in a sense, it's kind of a win-win if both go to the grave. But yeah, that does it for this combo. So relatively, imagine if you were to go for your second turn board. Instead of just doing all of that, basically we just did previously in the combo, instead of going for one Chimera, after polymerization, after fusion summoning Cobra and Wee Witch's Apprentice, you can go for a Starving Venom instead. Why? Because Starving Venom not only hits like a truck, and if your opponent happens to have a level 5 or higher monster on the field, that can actually be useful and have a useful effect to steal. Starving Venom can steal that opponent's effect. And either way, if this fusion summon card happened to be destroyed, which hopefully it does, and I kaiju, you can destroy all special summon monsters your opponent controls. So yeah, just wanted to point that out, that Starving Venom is another option if you go for a second, if there's like your second turn and you do if you're and you are successfully able to go for a battle phase, basically. But if you want to go for Starving Venom first turn, that's just as fine, because if you force your opponent to destroy it, you're basically nuking their field. For this next combo, we are going to need one Foolish Spirit of Goods, one Orphan Scorpio, and two Predaplant Squid, one in our hand and one in our deck, to get out with Orphan Scorpio, to fusion summon with Predaplant that we will send to the grave. And Predaplant, what it does is you can banish this card from your grave, fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using using materials from your hand and or field for the fusion summon. I'll explain more later, so let's get into it. To start off, we are going to activate our Foolish Bureau of Goods to send our Predaplant from our deck to our grave. We are then going to normal summon our one Scorpio in our hand. Send one monster from our hand to the grave. To special summon our Squid from our deck to our side of the field. We are then going to banish our Predaplant to activate its grave effect / polymerization effect by using Scorpio as well as Squid as material for Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. And Squid's effect, if I could grab it, Squid's effect is if this card this card leaves the field, place a Predator counter on each special summon monster your opponent controls, and if you do, if they're level 2 or higher, become level 1. But yeah, we mainly use Squid for the Predator counters. That's why we didn't go for the Cobra combos. But what I like about this combo is if your opponent has a lot of special summon monsters, which in today's meta, it's almost impossible not to have a special summon monster on your side of the field, or at least dealing with a special summon monster on your opponent's side of the field. Basically, not only do they all have Predator counters on their side of the field, but Starving Venom does get to gain one of those monsters' attack points. Whatever the highest is basically your choice of Starving Venom, but let's assume there's a 3,000 beater on your opponent's side of the field. Starving Venom gains that 3,000 attack, and so now Starving Venom is a 5,800 attack monster, but here's the fun part. We still have one Squid left in our hand. And what the first effect does is you could send this card from your hand to your grave, then target a face-up monster you control, being Starving Venom, and it can attack all monsters your opponent controls with Predator counters on them once each. So in a sense, for the final card in our hand, we will send Squid from our hand to the grave and allow our 5,800 Starving Venom to attack all our opponent's monsters once each. More than likely they are special summoned, and if not, well, more than likely you're still going to be able to deal a lot of damage to your opponent's life points. And maybe go for a game, who knows. But yeah, that'll actually conclude the last combo of the video. Alright everyone, that is it for the video. What did you all think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Comment what you thought down below. And before I go, I would like to apologize if you couldn't understand what I was trying to say in some times of explaining, because my speech just isn't the best sometimes and I will stumble upon my words. So I take full responsibility if you couldn't understand what I was trying to say in certain parts of the video. So yeah, next time, like I said, I say this a lot. Please bear with me if you cannot understand what I'm trying to say. And if anything, the card is on the screen, so hopefully you can read it. That's assuming it's not blurry. But yeah, that'll do it for the video. See you all next time.